The old way of creating content is dead. For years, brands were told to post more, follow rigid funnels, and flood every platform with content. But most of those strategies stopped working a long time ago. Yet many creators and businesses are still following the same playbook. The result is predictable. They post consistently, but nothing happens. No traction, no growth, no real audience. The problem is not effort. The problem is strategy. In this video, you will learn 8 content strategies that are quietly dominating modern marketing. These strategies reflect how audiences actually consume information today and how algorithms decide what gets seen. If you don't know me, I'm Don. I help businesses scale their social channels, but more relevant here, I obsess over performance, hooks, retention curves, scroll psychology. I care about what makes people tick and, more importantly, what makes them click. Let's get started. Strategy 1, create content for AI. Notice I didn't say create with AI, although you should do that too. I said create content for AI. Most people disagree with this at first, but content is no longer created only for humans. It is also created for machines. Today, artificial intelligence systems analyze enormous amounts of content to answer questions, recommend sources, and guide discovery. If those systems cannot find your content, you effectively do not exist in those ecosystems. This shift is creating a new concept called Answer Engine Optimization, or AEO. Platforms like ChatGPT and Perplexity pull information from sources such as Wikipedia, Reddit, and YouTube. These sources act like knowledge reservoirs for modern AI systems. If your ideas and expertise never appear in places like these, AI systems have no signal that you exist. That means when someone asks a question related to your field, the AI cannot recommend you. Now imagine this scenario. A company spends years posting on one platform, but their actual audience spends most of their time somewhere else. Sometimes the discovery is surprising. The audience might be reading Reddit threads, watching YouTube tutorials, or browsing entirely different communities. When that happens, the company realizes something important. They have been talking to the wrong room, and every hour spent creating content in the wrong place is an hour competitors are spending in the right place. The solution is simple. First, identify where your audience actually consumes information. Second, audit every channel you currently use. Ask 2 questions. Is AI indexing this content? And are my prospects actively searching here? If the answer to both questions is no, that channel may not deserve your time. The winning strategy is to focus on the intersection between where your audience lives and what AI systems can easily discover. Strategy 2, create content with AI. Yes, this time you heard me correctly. If you are using your old content creation pipeline in 2026, you are falling behind. What used to take days can now be done in hours or less with the right tools. Notice how this video transitions back and forth from me, the speaker, and attention-grabbing animations. This was not done with video editing. This creation process is entirely automated using our native platform, Synthetic Media, allowing us to create content 10 times faster than before. If you're serious about scaling content, I'll leave a link in the description to our platform. Strategy 3, think in messages, not funnels. For decades, marketers organized content around funnels. At the top of the funnel, content created awareness. In the middle, content nurtured interest. At the bottom, content closed the sale. This model sounds logical, but it assumes that people follow a neat, predictable journey. In reality, they do not. People discover content in random ways. Someone might land on a video, a social post, or a search result without ever seeing anything else you created. That means every piece of content must stand on its own. If your best insights are buried inside a specific funnel stage, many people will never see them. Instead of organizing content around funnel stages, organize it around messages. Ask yourself 3 questions. What problem does the audience need you to understand? What or who do they currently blame for that problem? And what failed solutions must they recognize before they are ready for something new? When someone encounters your content for the first time, those messages should be clear immediately. Your authority should be obvious. Your perspective should be clear. And your content should deliver value, even if it is the only piece of content they ever see. Strategy 4, problem match. One of the most common mistakes in marketing is starting with credentials. Many websites and videos open with achievements, experience, or awards, but something important is missing. The problem: When people encounter your content, they are not searching for impressive credentials. They are searching for understanding. They want to feel like someone truly understands the situation they are dealing with. That is where problem matching comes in. Instead of leading with credentials, start by describing the exact problem your audience is facing. Use their language. Use their frustrations. Use their reality. When someone hears their own problem explained clearly, something powerful happens. They think this person understands. And once that belief is established, they become open to listening. The principle is simple. Before you present a solution, prove you understand the problem. If you skip that step, everything else sounds like noise. Strategy 5. Build your mega mean mouse. There is an old idea in direct response marketing: do not sell a better mousetrap, sell a bigger mouse. Most marketing focuses on features, faster tools, better systems, improved processes, but people rarely act because something is slightly better. They act because their current situation feels unbearable. Effective content highlights the true cost of the existing problem: lost time, missed opportunities, stress, burnout, broken systems. When those consequences are clearly shown, people start paying attention. This approach requires expanding the problem before presenting the solution. Identify the core problem you solve, then examine the downstream effects. What happens if this problem continues for another 6 months? What happens in a year? Often there is also a hidden villain, not a person, but a broken system, an outdated process, an industry assumption that no longer works. By exposing that villain and showing the consequences of ignoring the problem, the situation becomes impossible to ignore. Only then should the solution appear. First the mouse, then the mousetrap. Strategy 6. Absolute clarity. Clarity is one of the most powerful advantages in marketing, but most brands struggle with it. Ask many businesses to describe what they do in one sentence, and the answer becomes vague. The solution is a simple formula: what you do and who you do it for. For example, a tool might position itself as the project management platform for creative teams, or a product might describe itself as a hair growth solution for a specific group of customers. The clarity immediately tells people whether it is relevant to them. When positioning is vague, everyone feels uncertain. When positioning is clear, the right people recognize themselves instantly, and everyone else understands it is not meant for them. That clarity is powerful. Instead of competing with thousands of brands, you compete within a much smaller category. To create your own positioning, start with what you do. Then get extremely specific about who it is for. Combine them into a single sentence. If someone cannot immediately tell whether they are your customer, the statement is still too broad. Narrow it further. Then, place that positioning everywhere. Your homepage, your bio, your content, everywhere your audience encounters you. Strategy 7. Personality-driven, not product-driven. The more your content sounds like advertising, the less people believe it. Audiences are drawn to people, not faceless brands. When someone consistently shows up with opinions, insights, and a recognizable voice, trust begins to form. And in the age of AI, trust is the currency of modern business. People want to understand how someone thinks. They want to see the process behind the results. They want to see lessons, experiments, and behind-the-scenes realities. Polished perfection is rarely the most compelling form of content. Authenticity is. Showing the journey, the thinking, and the perspective behind the work builds a stronger connection than presenting only perfect results. When people feel like they know you, they become far more likely to trust what you say. And trust is what ultimately turns attention into customers. Strategy 8. Prioritize quality over frequency. Many creators are told to post constantly, daily posting schedules, strict quotas, non-stop output. But algorithms are not simply counting how often you post. They are measuring how people react when you do. The most important window is the first hour after publishing. Some call this the golden hour. During that time, platforms observe how people respond. Are viewers commenting, sharing, watching until the end? If engagement appears quickly, the algorithm interprets that as a signal of value. The content is then shown to more people. If engagement is weak, the system assumes the content is not compelling, and distribution slows down. That means flooding platforms with low-quality content can actually train algorithms to ignore you. A better strategy is to focus on quality. Post when you have something genuinely valuable to say. Then spend time engaging with the audience immediately after publishing. Respond to comments, participate in conversations, signal that your content matters. One thoughtful piece of content with strong engagement will outperform dozens of forgettable posts. Those were 8 content strategies that can dramatically improve how your content performs. That's all for now. See you next time.